How do you hide a 4-bedroom house in the middle of a field? Simple, with a wall of hay. But why bother?
I had to, because I was driven to it.
Meet Bob Fiddler, who says he's just a farmer who wanted a family home.
Every other farm in England has a house on it. Why can't I have a house on my farm?
In fact, he already did have a small house on the property, but he was after something grander. The trouble is, this whole area is protected greenbelt. Planning permission is hard to get. And in his case, said Fiddler, bungling bureaucrats made it impossible. So he set out to bend the rules. Rules which in the UK say that if you go ahead and build a house without permission, the planning authorities have 4 years to react and tell you to take it down. If they don't, you get to keep it. So Bob Fiddler and his wife Linda literally built their house in a haystack and then crossed their fingers that the local council wouldn't catch on. It worked.
Well, he's a hay and straw merchant. Why would we suspect that some unlawful activity is going on inside a haystack?
But 4 years later, what should have been Fiddler's victory moment was his undoing. A judge ruled that building operations were not completed until the removal of the straw bales. In other words, the 4 years didn't end when the straw came down, they just began.
I got the date on there, look, 2002, that's when we finished. That was the last bit I did, that bit over the wall there.
There's a lot of sympathy out there for a little guy who tries to take on City Hall, and Fiddler has a Facebook support group to prove it. But the local council says he's just been gaming the system, and the house has to go.
Can you really imagine showing up there with a bulldozer?
Can I? Well, I suspect ultimately there's going to be a definite confrontation on the site.
I was just trying to imagine getting a sledgehammer and smashing this up.
Bottom line, Bob Fiddler's got to take his house down by the end of the year, or the council will do it for him. Elizabeth Palmer, CBS News, Red Hill, Surrey.